Nebraska will serve first. In front of a packed Amalie Arena, they were lined up over 3 hours before this match started. Let's go. Bergen Riley to serve first for the Cornhuskers. Ella Swindle goes backside to Molly Phillips off of that Nebraska block. And Madison Skinner right on cue at the start.
Really nice job by Texas covering Molly Phillips to be able to get another swing out of that from Maddie Skinner. Important to keep an eye on as we move throughout this match. You've got 2 freshman setters on both sides of the net. That is big time.
Texas will serve at Harper Murray. Merritt Beeson, the Florida transfer, and it's long. Back-to-back points for Texas.
And you see Texas go right at Harper Murray. They want to load her up with responsibility. Freshman, first time in the national final for her. They shift her out of the serve-receive position. She's now short.
Beeson, take 2. Emma Halter is there, the libero for Texas. Back to Maddie Skinner. She drops it in, and that's an inside set that we saw from Texas. We'll see that a lot.
That's Texas's bread and butter. No matter what pin hitter you see on either side of the net, they want to hang that ball inside so that their hitters can go cross-court, hard angle.
But it seems counterintuitive, but it works because the hitter knows where it's going, and it shortens the blocker's approach to ramp up their jump.
No touch, and look at Texas go. Jarrett Elliott, a 2-time NCAA champion at Texas. They did it in 2012 and last year in 2022. He's told us numerous times, this is the biggest growth during one season he has seen in his 23 years at Texas. Harper Murray will tip. Ella Swindle lays out for it. Maddie Skinner coming in, and it was not touched. Nebraska has its first point.
Tight set in an out-of-system situation. She's trying to avoid the block, just goes a little bit too long. And a little bit of nerves, it seems, from Nebraska early on here. Something we see from Texas. They are such a good serving team. They really force you out of system. We've seen that early.
Harper Murray, the Big Ten Freshman of the Year, one of 5 freshmen to join Nebraska's program, and she dribbles over the ace.
Just like they drew it up.
Absolutely. Well, Harper and those fellow freshmen arrived early, so they got a whole spring to work. John Cook said that was critical for their success this year as Asia O'Neal throws down. John Cook is the National Coach of the Year, a 4-time national champion at Nebraska. He said he's been a lot more patient this season with the youth on his roster, and I think his players have reminded him to do that.
Well, Merritt Beeson had to sit down with him and say, please be patient with this group. It's a special group, but we need patience.
Can't you tell, though, he's having fun with this year's team?
Definitely.
I think they're keeping him young, quite frankly. Merritt Beeson will ask him during practice, are you being patient right now? You told me you were going to be patient. We're really young. So many newcomers, so many moving parts. But gosh, have they started to click at the right time. They are playing such great volleyball.
Lexi Rodriguez serving down the line. Madison Skinner looking to turn it, and Nebraska within 1 as that goes wide.
That time, Maddie Skinner trying to turn it down that line on that inside set.
You see the roster comparison. 4 seniors for Texas. Again, 11 players who played in the national championship match last year. Nebraska has no seniors. There's only been one team to win a national championship with no seniors, and that was Pacific back in 1986.
It's hard to do because you need leadership, right? And they got that in Merritt Beeson transferring from Florida in the offseason. A newcomer, but she was able to build trust and relationships really quickly, and then her teammates voted her team captain. Merritt Beeson, had she not transferred, I don't know if Nebraska would be in this position.
Yeah, Beeson along with Lexi Rodriguez are the 2 captains, and no question, Merritt Beeson is the vocal leader. Allie Batenhorst with the cross-court kill.
Allie Batenhorst challenging Emma Halter in that sharp angle. Watch her get her feet inside to this ball, catches Emma Halter high, and she can't get her platform out of the way.
There's Merritt Beeson, number 13 in white. 2 seasons at Florida before entering the transfer portal, coming to Nebraska. Nice pass from Emma Halter. They go with Asia O'Neal on the slide, and a centerline violation on Asia O'Neal.
Really nice job by Nebraska here after Texas scored the first couple of points, settling in, great response.
But they know this rotation is coming. Asia O'Neal, known for her slide setter. Ella Swindle, the freshman, in the front row. Look for Maddie Skinner out of the back row on this rotation.
Beeson will serve at Jenna Winnis. That puts Swindle on the move. Winnis tipping to the corner. Beeson diving in. Jenna Winnis off the block, dug up by Halter. Winnis take 3, busting through. She could be an X factor for Texas.
She could. Jenna Winnis has been streaky this entire season. She played great in the national semifinal, and here is another great swing from Jenna Winnis. She gets blocked, but Emma Halter covers her, so she gets another opportunity, swings, and uses the outside hand of Bergen Riley to her advantage.
And that's when hitter coverage plays a huge role in giving that hitter confidence to keep swinging.
No doubt about it.
Jenna Winnis spent 3 seasons at Minnesota, now in her first year at Texas. A cannon brought to the championship.
The #1 area of improvement for Jenna Winnis is her confidence. They've been working on it all year long. Look at her get to this ball and crank that angle inside one of the best defensive teams in the country.
Jared Elliott saying she's finally playing with a little swagger, and it's great to see.
Bergen Riley going backside to Andy Jackson, who can be so critical too off of that slide play running behind the setter.
If you don't know Andy Jackson's name, learn it, because you're going to be seeing this for the next 4 years. She is so lethal on the slide. The one-footed jump approach behind the setter, that is her bread and butter. Makes her extremely hard to stop.
She would be the first freshman in Nebraska history to hit 400. She's hitting 405 coming into this match. Winnis goes off speed, dug up by Rodriguez. They go Andy Jackson again. She got it again. They will give her that touch.
Andy Jackson swinging at that ball flat, high off the hands, not trying to go straight down.
Lainey Choboy, the true freshman out of Raleigh, North Carolina. Kaylee Akana, the former Nebraska Cornhusker, facing her old team, and tipping over the block goes Texas.
We've talked about how good Maddie Skinner is out of the back row. We don't see this shot for her very often. She's established power out of the back row, but look at the perfect placement. What a shot by Maddie Skinner. Defense way back in the court for Nebraska.
Service error by Ella Swindle. Maddie Skinner's journey is incredible, ladies. You think about it, when she was a freshman at Kentucky, she was playing in the opposite, meaning she was swinging mostly on the right side of the court. They won a national championship. She comes to Texas last year, playing and helping Logan Eggleston, who was a 5-time All-American, the National Player of the Year. They win a national title. She could get her 3rd today.
And her role has evolved with every single team that she has played on. And she continues to deliver no matter what that role is.
Becca Alec in the middle. Saved by Halter, right on Swindle's head. Scrappy play by Nebraska. Missed timing to Bergmark. Bergen Riley getting offensive. Riley pushing it to Harper. Murray! Tricky, tricky!
Really nice play by the true freshman Bergen Riley. Great defense here from Nebraska, just keeping the play alive, throwing limbs left and right. Bergen Riley dumped, so it establishes this. She holds that middle blocker with her, so Harper Murray is in a one-on-one situation and can drop that tip right over the block.
First lead for Nebraska today. Going to 25, you have to win by 2. Murray incoming!
Becca Alec with the ascent. Are you kidding me? Middle blocker with those pretty hands?
It's something Nebraska works on a lot. Every player on the court needs to be able to the transition set the ball, and then Harper Murray puts an exclamation point on it. Comes inside, beautiful crossbody swing down the line for Nebraska.
Are you two setters jealous over here of Becca Alec getting that?
You're not used to seeing middle blockers with hands like that, let's just say.
Swindle running Phillips on the slide. Murray in pursuit as Chilboy got their first free ball back to Texas. Bergmark.
Transition is key for Texas. The coaching staff told us that yesterday. Look, we're going to dig balls. We need to stay aggressive and transition that ball. That was a big kill for Texas.
Carissa Barnes will sub in. The transfer from Texas A&M Corpus Christi was a three-time conference Libero of the Year. And that just died right over the net.
Big focus lately, especially for Texas. They had a lot of transformation to do from the beginning to end of the season. Blocking and serving have come on strong.
How do we even describe what their service pressure did to Wisconsin in the semifinals?
It was unbelievable to watch because Wisconsin is obviously one of the best teams in the country, and for good reason, but they picked them apart. They were so out of sorts. They couldn't get anything going offensively in sets 3 and 4 on Thursday night because of the pressure Texas applies from the service line.
At one point, Texas scored 12 straight points in their semifinal. In set 3, Maddie Skinner is ready.
Another transition play for Texas, and Maddie Skinner goes OT over the top. Great set by Emma Halter to push that ball up for Maddie Skinner.
Barnes going at Showboy. Rodriguez will bump set Harper Murray. Emma Halter stepping in to bump set Skinner. It's coming back over. Becca Alec was waiting. Just long. They say no touch. Texas looking to the bench. They could challenge this. Jarrett Elliott asking his players, and he will pull the green challenge card. Each team gets 2 challenges per match. If you're correct in your challenge, you get to keep it. If we go to a 5th set, each team will get an additional challenge. So the original call was no touch. The ball was out, point Nebraska. Look at the fingers at the net. Are we seeing anything?
I'm looking at Becca Alec's right hand. Does it graze or clip that index finger?
Well, the finger doesn't move. Looks like it should hit it, but I just don't see any finger movement.
Agreed. I think this ball barely goes over the top. I don't think there's enough video evidence to overturn this call.
That's a great look right there.
That's our best angle.
Yeah. Some great views by our crew. Again, the original call was no touch. Point for Nebraska. Still waiting on the decision to be made. They also can look at a couple of other things. Even though Texas is challenging that there was a touch, they can go back and look to see if the ball was in or out. It was ruled out, and if any players were in the net. So they've looked at all of those things, and we're going to have a decision here. Call is confirmed. Texas down to 1 challenge. Unless we go to a 5th set, they'll get an additional challenge. So Bergen Riley rotates back to serve. Nebraska feels like this is one of their strongest rotations. Why is that, Holly?
Bergen Riley is a great server. Wow, goes down the line, misses that by an inch. Plus they've got a strong front row blocking system with Beason, Alec, and Murray in the front row. Nebraska stacking all their hitters on the left. Merritt Beason's going to take a lap around the court, get to the right side.
And Texas surged into that traffic. It didn't matter. They got it to Becca Alec.
Really nice job by Bergen Riley, recognizing that Becca Alec was coming off of her back, right? Because that pass pushed her forward. Still being able to involve your middle no matter where that pass takes you is really hard for a defense to get set up.
Service error by Murray. Here's Kaylee Akana, started her career at Nebraska. This is her third straight title match. She played in that 2021 national championship game where Nebraska lost to Wisconsin, then won a national title last year with Texas. Actually had an ace on national championship point.
Yes, she did. Both teams trying to stay aggressive from the service line. It's going to play a big part in this match.
Whenever you talk to coaches, it's the first thing they say. We got to win the serve pass game.
And when you're aggressive from the service line, there's high risk and high reward.
Ella Swindle taking it over. Doesn't look like a freshman anymore. Texas is the first to 15 in a very close opening set in our national championship match here in Tampa. These two teams have a history in the national championship match. Back in 1995, Nebraska beat Texas, the 1-versus-2, 3-1. And then in 2015, their most recent meeting, it was a sweep for the Nebraska Cornhuskers, 3-0 over Texas. Now they meet for a third time. Nebraska with 5 NCAA titles, Texas with 3. They have 4 total titles to their name if you count that AIAW title, and you better believe that they do. Both in their 5th championship match in the last 9 years. That is just incredible what not just one of these programs, but both have done.
Katie George called them blue bloods. They are. They've established themselves as the upper echelon of volleyball.
Katie, what's sticking out so far about this match?
Well, I think that we've seen Texas apply great pressure, as you see it there from the service line, just like we saw against Wisconsin. And when you make a team one-dimensional because of your serve, then you're able to set up your block against an outside hitter like we just saw.
So there was a delay in the call. The up official was asking her lines judges if the ball went out and touched Nebraska first. They confirmed that it did, so that's the call. Point for Texas. Off the block, touch Nebraska. And in the ace! Guess who?
And it continues. Maddie Skinner getting it done from the service line.
Sergio Garcia in the house, loving it.
Look at the bottom just drop out on that ball, and it's right in the seam between the two Nebraska passers.
Sergio Garcia and his wife Angela, big Texas volleyball fans. They made sure to be here today for this one. Of course, his wife Angela played golf at Texas. They've even been in the locker room. How cute. After one of the Texas volleyball matches. There's a few stars in the building watching this national championship match. Of course, Jermaine O'Neal is here. Guys, he had to fly in from the Bahamas. Asia O'Neal's brother was playing basketball there, but he made it.
And he's gone back and forth from the Bahamas to see his son play basketball and his daughter here.
And then Ndamukong Suh, former Nebraska Cornhusker, taking in his young Nebraska volleyball team. Who's not young anymore, right? I mean, they've made it this far. They've won 33 matches, lost only 1.
And you know what? They'll tell you that loss came at a great time. They had already won the Big Ten championship at that point. They lose to Wisconsin just before the end of the regular season, and players say it took the pressure off. They learned a great deal from that loss. They came out better from it, and they knew what it was going to take to play at their highest level and make it to a national final.
Well, the NCAA FCS championship game Sunday, January 7th here on ABC Sports. Undefeated South Dakota State will take on Montana. Coverage begins at 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific on ABC. Also streaming live on the ESPN app.
Nebraska started this match. The first 4 swings, they were hitting negative 500. But after that, they've been hitting positive 500, 6 for 12, until that last block on Batenhorst.
So coming out of the timeout, Maddie Skinner's ace has them on a 3-0 run. She had a record 6 aces in the semifinal against Wisconsin. A career high for her, no doubt. And that just misses the tape. Service error.
And when a server comes out of a timeout and misses, then you say, good one, coach, that one's on you.
It's like icing the kicker, if you will.
It is.
Icing the server. Perfect pass by Kayla Akana. Soaring, flying, Maddie Skinner!
And this is what makes her so dynamic and fun to watch. Yes, she can do it from the front row, but look at this, takeoff and landing. Unbelievable athleticism from Maddie Skinner out of the back row. That is called a BIC if you are unfamiliar with the name, and it is so fun to watch.
How fun is it to set?
Oh my gosh.
When you've got Maddie Skinner on the other end, it's a lot of fun.
Andy Jackson looking to go off with 1 foot. That's going to be long. Here's Asia O'Neal, her dad Jermaine in the stands, an NBA All-Star. We could very well see Asia O'Neal playing in Paris in the Olympics for Team USA. Oh, Merritt Beeson says, look, I can do it too.
The back row attack has become such an important part of the women's collegiate game and internationally. Look at this back row quick to Merritt Beeson, who goes wrist away, attacking Asia O'Neal in the backcourt.
Swindle to Jenna Winnes. Halter to Winnes. Bringing a little more oomph behind it.
When you're playing a team like Nebraska, actually either side, hitter coverage is everything to get another chance to be aggressive, and that helps Jenna Winnes work for that kill. Coming all the way inside, you see her working inside the left hand of Andy Jackson.
And we've seen that multiple times tonight already. She gets blocked, and then she comes back, and she learns from it and is able to get a kill.
Bergen Riley is so good at that deep corner setter dump. Texas knows she likes to do that, and they still can't pick it up.
Nebraska down 3 in the opening set. Kennedy Orr rotating in to serve. Started as a setter at Nebraska, still is, but has moved into that serving specialist role mostly this year. Winnes with the tip. Swindle backside to Molly Phillips. Bergen Riley to Harper Murray. The save by Halter. Still going. Back to Nebraska. Swindle saves the dump. Winnes.
The self-coverage from Nebraska's blockers right now is unbelievable.
Relentless. Winnes finishes it. What a rally.
What highlight are you going to give us from that rally?
I want to see it all over again. Look at the dive. Maddie Skinner slides her feet under that ball to stay alive.
I think they called Texas in the net.
Jenna Winnes able to sneak that one inside the angle.
So Maddie Skinner is talking to Michelle Prater, who is her up official. Skinner is the floor captain. She's the only one that can approach the up official.
Lower body follow through into the net. Jenna Winnes trying to walk that tightrope.
So Jared Elliott in Texas just received a yellow card. That is a warning. It was actually on the assistant coach for Texas. The assistants can't discuss anything with the officials, so the yellow card has come out.
Nice job by Bella Bergmark there at the net for Texas. I wish Bergen Riley, instead of going up with one hand, would have turned and tried to joust with two hands to be a little bit more powerful there at the net on that overpass.
Choboy, the hustle to get that there, but Becca Alex gonna tool the block. It starts with the pass from Lainey Choboy.
It certainly does. Lainey Choboy puts that ball right in her setter's hands, and Texas trying to go line to line to pull the pass to one side or another, but Choboy put that right in the spot where she could run the offense anywhere.
Free ball back to Nebraska. Harper Murray, Molly Phillips, a wall!
Yesterday, Texas was working on this, getting stuck by yourself on the outside. Molly Phillips dives into that seam. Bergmark there late, but Molly Phillips makes a huge block for Texas.
Molly Phillips is a surgeon. She's so efficient with her movements, whether that's defensively or attacking as an offensive player. Great job diving in there as well.
So Nebraska takes a timeout here. Texas 3 points away from winning the opening set. Maddie Skinner, 5 kills right now, and we've seen a couple of times she has come out of the back row. It is impressive to watch. We had to break this down.
She covers so much ground. Watch where she starts her approach, all the way towards that back in line. She cannot cross the 10-foot line, but she travels 12 feet here, starts her jump, and then look where she finishes. In total, she travels 21 feet across the court to attack this ball out of the back row, not to mention her vertical, by the way, and the velocity in which she's able to attack and hit this ball. 50 miles per hour. That thing is gunning and coming at you.
And that's something that's developed as Ella Swindle, the freshman setter, has gotten more comfortable this season.
Ella Swindle took over a really important big role for Texas, and she's had to find her rhythm running this offense. Lots of new hitters, so that back row attack started coming later in the season, and they've gained a ton of momentum.
A lot of responsibility comes with being a setter, no matter what your age is. Imagine 2 freshman quarterbacks leading their team to national championships in football. That's what these 2 women in Bergen Riley and Ella Swindle have done for their teams. It is unbelievable to watch their poise, their composure, and their efficiency as young players.
And one of them will be the 4th true freshman setter to lead their program to a national championship. Riley on the move. That's all that Merritt Beeson could do with it. And Becca Alec wins the battle against Asia O'Neal.
Transition opportunity for Texas. They got Nebraska out of system. This ball set a tiny bit low, although Nebraska's blockers lined up. They know this ball's coming to O'Neal. Harper Murray makes a late move. I'd like a little higher set to Asia O'Neal for that transition kill.
Jared Elliott is having a lot of words with the down official. And a red card has been shown.
So a red card is problematic because it actually gives a point to your opponent. Yellow cards, warnings often, but if you get shown a second, it results in a point for Nebraska.
So now 22-21 is our score, and now we're tied at 22.
And it can be a momentum killer. When you have emotion like this, It can be a momentum killer for your team and a detriment, right? And look at that serve that we just saw from Nebraska. Now you got this thing even.
Texas wants a timeout. Head coach Jared Elliott of Texas showing the down referee the rotations and why they're out of rotation.
And he's asking, just talk to me here. Let's just have a conversation. As we mentioned to you prior, assistant coaches are not allowed to have any communication with the officials. The only person who can have conversations and explanations given to them is that head coach, and that's what he's asking for.
So a huge momentum shift here. The red card on Texas. Then Nebraska follows that up with an ace, and that has tied us in set number 1. And you mentioned out of rotation. We believe that's what Jared Elliott is arguing about. Before each serve, you have to line up in a certain spot on the court depending on what rotation you're in.
Yes, you have to line up in a certain spot before that serve is touched, and then you can switch to the part of the court that you want to go to.
If another card comes out for Texas in this set, Jared Elliott would be ejected. So Texas takes this timeout. Both sides take a deep breath here.
Definitely.
Take a deep breath. Recompose yourself, I think, if you're Texas. Keep coming if you're Nebraska. It'll be really interesting to see the mental wherewithal of both of these two teams when they come back out on the court to finish set 1.
Texas needs to regroup as a team, forget what's going on the sideline, and focus on what they need to do.
Nebraska on a 6-2 run.
Out of system.
Maddie Skinner inside. Rodriguez setting up Merritt Beeson. Swindle to Skinner. Allie Batenhorst is blocked by Asia O'Neal.
That's a big point for Texas to get out of that situation where there was a lot of pressure and stress. Molly Phillips and Asia O'Neal come up with a huge block. 2 veterans for this Texas team.
Asia O'Neal's inside left hand is so unbelievably strong. She just drops it in cross court to seal that net.
It's a miscommunication on the Nebraska side. Batenhorst will get the swing off. Skinner coming in. 3 blockers over there, and Maddie Skinner gives Texas set point.
It starts from the service line. Texas gets Nebraska out of system. Akana comes in and puts Maddie Skinner high, and she continues. Look at the elevation. That is over the top of a gigantic Nebraska block.
Triple, mind you. All 3 went to block.
Like she did last year at the national championship, an ace, this time on set point. Texas wins a dramatic set 1.
Boy, was it dramatic.
Yeah. I think we all need to take a moment to catch our breath after that one.
Longhorns end on a 3-0 run. Set 1 in the books. International championship match 25-22, Texas.
We talked about Maddie Skinner before this match started. We knew she would have a huge impact. She has 6 kills on 11 swings, hitting .364. Also, an ace from the service line, going over the top of a triple block. She continues to dominate the NCAA tournament.
Texas wins the first set 25-22, and at cover 3 in Austin, Texas, they're loving it, watching their Longhorns take set 1. But some drama, ladies, in that first set. We had a yellow card and a red card. All cards reset when we go to a new set. So because of the red card, of course, Nebraska got that point, but Texas, I mean, that could have gone the total opposite way.
I think you got to know the personality of your team, and Jarrett Elliott certainly does, because when you get animated like that and you go after the refs, that could stress a team out and they could crumble, or they could see that, absolutely love it, because they know you're fighting for them. You're fighting for points, and that's what we saw. Madison Skinner calmed her team down, and they delivered in those last couple points for Texas to go up 1-0.
Texas is 21-1 this season when winning the first set. Nebraska's first set loss was only one time, and that was in their only loss of the season to Wisconsin.
John Cook likes to talk about this young team. He said they're unbothered.
Yes.
They respond from being pushed and being challenged. We'll see how that goes in the second set.
Couple of key points here. Merritt Beeson hitting negative. Allie Batenhorst on the outside pin hitting negative in that first set. Nebraska only had one block as well. Let's see if they can pick it up defensively.
Nebraska had 8 blocks in the first set against Pitt in the semifinals. A much different set one here in the championship.
When we talked to Texas yesterday, they had some game plans. They want to go line to line on their serve and try and shorten the court and make it easier for Texas's block to set up.
Harper Murray. Swindle to Skinner. Block was there to slow it down. Molly Phillips on the right pin. Bergen Riley going back to Murray. Skinner tipping down the line. Showboy slides in. And Merritt Beeson with some trickeration out of the back row.
Here's a little tip on a low set. Lainey Showboy gets under that ball. And then watch this ball from Merritt Beeson. Perfect area 2 tip shot over the block on the inside set from the back row.
Just great court awareness, great vision by Merritt Beeson.
The bump set to Murray. Swindle back to Phillips. Harper Murray, Becca Alec teaming up. That's block number 2 for Nebraska.
And blocking is something this Nebraska team does really well. They're disciplined. Look at Harper Murray take off and get up and over in front of Molly Phillips. This ball is set inside the antenna, but Becca Alec there to close.
Just a great job by Harper Murray, realizing Becca Alec's going to be a little bit late to close, so she has to dive in and fill that hole until she's able to get there in time.
Harper Murray, the second player to be named Big Ten Freshman of the Year at Nebraska. The first was Maddie Kubik. She's played 6 rotations all season, and that'll be a service error on Bergen Riley.
One of the benefits of going line to line on the serve for Texas is Lexi Rodriguez, who's an elite passer. The libero for Nebraska can't step in front of passers and cut it off.
Oh, the connection to Becca Alec.
Oh, I love the intensity and urgency from Becca Alec. They run her on a 31. It's a gap set, so it's just a little bit of ways away from Bergen Riley, and she goes right between a massive block. It's so quick. It's so hard to defend and stop.
I love the energy from Becca Alec. She demands the ball.
She does. She has such a presence about her in the middle of the court.
Such a passion for the game. Her brother plays on the Nebraska basketball team. Her twin sister, a setter at Missouri Southern. Hannah is here in the stands somewhere. There's a lot of red in here. Got another block touch there. Skinner working around that block. Rebecca Alec, we mentioned her, the sophomore out of Lincoln, Nebraska. Here's her brother and her twin sister, Hannah Alec, who's 5'9". Becca is 6'4".
How does that happen?
I have no idea. They're obviously fraternal, but that's crazy.
Second ace today for Kaylee Akana.
Akana going that down the line serve. That's how she finished the national championship last year, going area 5 right down that line.
Allie Batenhorst readjusting off the block. It's going to be tight. And it's pushed out by Nebraska.
This ball pushed tight to the net. Becca Alec allowed Ella Swindle to attack that ball. And look at Bergen Riley trying to go over. Ella Swindle aggressive at the net. I like that mindset.
The two freshman setters going at it after it.
They're very familiar with one another.
And a service error as that one sails on Kaylee Akana, ending a 3-0 run. Lexi Rodriguez, the two-time Big Ten Defensive Player of the Year, averaging almost 4 digs per set in the tournament. She's a first-team All-American this year.
Mishandled ball, just trying to get it over the net. Service pressure there by Lexi Rodriguez of Nebraska, causing some problems for Texas.
Another out-of-system set coming to Maddie Skinner.
Triple block, but Merritt Beeson ate it all up.
And this is what happens when you force a team out of system. The blockers know exactly where this ball is going. It's going to Maddie Skinner, and you're able to send all 3 up, and Merritt Beeson absolutely loves getting that block.
Now a 3-0 run for Nebraska. Asia O'Neal on the slide, and she gets it done on the tip.
I'd also like to mention, do you know how much respect Nebraska has for Maddie Skinner to throw 3 blockers up at her on that outside pin? A ton.
Texas talked about jamming the middle of the court, throwing that ball in the middle because they believe Nebraska plays on the perimeter defensively behind the block.
Batenhorst trying to go line, but turned it too much.
That time, Lexi Rodriguez got a chance to pass that ball, kept Nebraska in system. That's just an unforced hitting error for Nebraska.
Allie Batenhorst has had to step up and fill that spot of Lindsay Krause, who has not played since October 14th. She's been out with an ankle injury. And Batenhorst has handled it well. Emma Halter coming in with the pancake. It was touched by Texas, point Nebraska.
Good aggressive throw down at the net by Nebraska, capitalizing on that opportunity.
The Nebraska team that has accomplished so much this season, their most wins since 2006 when they also had 33 on the season. Their first Big Ten title since 2017, looking for a national championship. Jackson, don't forget it.
It's freshman on freshman crime right there. Andy Jackson recognizing that Ella Swindle is up. It's a tight pass. She's all over it. She stays home, presses, gets the block.
Watch Maddie Skinner out of the back row in this rotation. Asia O'Neal's going to go slide behind the setter.
Nice serve. It's going to send Texas scrambling. And it gets Nebraska a free ball back. Can hit out of the back too.
They don't call him free for nothing.
And you have to score on a free ball, but Merritt Beeson set up that whole play with the tough serve, and then look at Harper Murray get on that ball so fast.
Texas calls a timeout. Nebraska with the momentum. 3 straight points for the Huskers. Well, one of our 2 setters, either Ella Swindle or Bergen Riley, is going to be the 4th true freshman to win a national championship. Again, this position's so important. Katie, you said it best. It's like the quarterback of the team. They make all the decisions, how the offense runs. It's a huge load to carry, and there's a natural leadership that comes with it.
Definitely, but both players have been part of the USA program and the high performance at the same age group, so they know each other well. And Bergen Riley was on varsity in the 8th grade. She knows how to step up and play at the elite level.
She told us when she was 13, she was playing up with the 18-year-olds. Can you believe that?
Yes.
Watching her now, absolutely. Misconnection, but hey, Maddie Skinner, crafty.
Crafty, that set's a little bit too low. Maddie Skinner kind of had that runway going, but she didn't get the same elevation, but finishes with the same result, a little finesse shot over the block.
I'd say on the Texas side, when it comes to Ella Swindle and her hitters, we've seen such an evolution because Ella Swindle's had to change her setting. She mostly sets on the ground, does not jump. That's actually helped her set behind better. Here's Wennis tipping around a triple block.
Good point by you. I like that location by Jenna Wennis right over the block, but we'll talk about the setter location after that. Look at the triple block and Wennis, little finesse shot over the block. Ella Swindle has been managing a lower leg injury, so she's had to adjust her setting, and you'll see her mostly set from the ground, and her location is improved dramatically because she has to work to get her feet to the ball.
Yeah, it's interesting. Most setters would prefer to jump set. It gives you a really nice rhythm when you get to the ball and power. But unfortunately, because of the injury that she's been nursing, they had to transition her back to staying on the floor, so she does not jump set. She said it was a really hard transition to kind of rework where her location needed to be for these hitters, but they've actually benefited from it.
An ace for Texas. That's 6 aces for the Longhorns.
Every time Asia O'Neal extends those arms, all I can think is Russell Crowe. Are you not entertained? Step in the gladiator ring, baby.
Timeout, Nebraska, as Texas comes out of the break. They're on a 4-0 run now. Couple of aces in a row for Asia O'Neal, who we mentioned. This is a player in Asia O'Neal who's in her 6th season. She has gone through 2 open heart surgeries in her lifetime, including one after her redshirt sophomore season. And we could see number 7 in Burt Orange playing in the Olympics this summer.
Asia O'Neal is special. She spent some time with Team USA over the summer and impressed the coaching staff. So it'd be fun to see her in red, white, and blue, I'll tell you that.
Her dad, Jermaine, a 6-time NBA All-Star. He has become the ultimate volleyball dad. He's at almost every match cheering on his daughter.
I remember her last year saying, look, my dad never won a title. I want to win a title. And she was able to do that last year.
Well, Tuesday night at 9:30 p.m. Eastern on ESPN2, women's basketball action. North Carolina, Oklahoma square off in the nightcap of the Jumpman Invitational Tournament in Charlotte. That's Tuesday night on ESPN2 and streaming live on the ESPN app.
We'll be really curious out of this timeout for Nebraska. They were able to build a 3-point lead, but then Texas has gone on a run with their serve. They've been stressed in serve receive here. Can you stick in, put up a really nice ball on top of Bergen Riley's head so she's got all her options at her disposal?
Well, somebody else will have to step up, and they are going to serve away from Lexi Rodriguez all day long. Attacking that seam between Batenhorst and Harper Murray, and it's paying off for Texas. Enough pace to be disruptive.
And you see Merritt Beeson getting her team together, calming them down, talking it through, being that leader that this team has relied on through the entirety of this season.
Are you kidding me?
That's one proud dad.
Asia O'Neal came back her 6th year for a reason. She wanted that. She is stepping up. Look at that serve. Flat and clean. Lots of pace on it. Pays off with an ace.
That ties her career high 4 aces. Batenhorst is able to get a swing off. Skinner, back row. 7-0 run for the Longhorns.
And all the momentum is with Texas right now because they know they've got these passers on the ropes. Great job by Texas, and Ella Swindle recognizing I've got another option here. I'm going to just flip this ball behind, get Maddie Skinner in a one-on-one situation. And now we've got a substitution here on Nebraska side.
Yeah, Hayden Kubik is going to come in. She has played in 9 sets on the season as Nebraska tries to stir up some passing. Number 11 in white. And they'll serve right at her. Bergen Riley has to hustle all the way across the court. Kubik again. Beeson. Done by Akana. And Kubik is blocked. Ella Swindle and Bella Bergmark.
Texas is relentless. They are going, who's ever in that position, putting all sorts of pressure. Ella Swindle right there with Bella Bergmark on the Texas block.
Allie Batenhorst checks back in, back row to pass, and then she'll swing on the outside pin. John Cook just wanted to have a quick conversation with her on the sidelines.
Yeah, so 14 in white, Allie Batenhorst back in the match. Andy Jackson on the slide, no!
I think Nebraska needs to attack out of the back row as an option, stress out Texas a little bit more. Look at Bella Bergmark late, but Jenna Winnis all over that ball defensively at the net.
And Nebraska is going to use its final timeout in this set because Texas is on a 9-0 run, including 4 straight aces. Texas was able to put so much service pressure on Wisconsin in the semifinal, and here they go again.
Yeah, and it was interesting watching Asia O'Neal almost yo-yo the serve receivers from Nebraska. She goes deep, catches you high, and then she drops this one right in front of you. So you don't know whether you're going to need to take a step back first or a step forward, and that's what it is when you're yo-yoing a serve receiver like that.
And that's the same technique that they used against Wisconsin, and they went after some of the players that looked gassed on the other side of the net.
And it works really well, as we're seeing. Jared Elliott told us yesterday he wanted to do that. He wanted to take players like Andy Jackson out of the lineup, right? I mean, not out of the lineup off the court, but
she can't be a factor.
She cannot be a factor. Pass. Yes, and they've been able to pull the setter off the net.
Yeah, and I think for Nebraska right now, you just got to regroup, take a deep breath. We've seen them obviously respond all season long. This is a phenomenal team. They've just gotten in a rut. They've gotten stuck in this one rotation. You come out, you side out, then you go on a run with your serve.
If you're Texas, you better put your foot on the gas because Nebraska will respond.
So there's different areas on the court. These are the volleyball zones, and this is how you target your service pressure.
We talked about the area 5. They've been serving a ton of area 5, and then every once in a while they'll throw in a 1 or a 3 that drops between the 3 and the 6.
It's worth mentioning these serves. They're coming at you about 38 to 42 miles per hour, and there's no movement on these floats. It's unbelievable.
Nebraska, no more timeouts in this set. Texas on a 9-0 run with Asia O'Neal behind the service lines. Bergen Riley is going to try to dump. Texas was ready. Jenna Winnis coming in. Yes, dropped it in the back row.
Texas knew what was coming on that last play. Akana just was stepped into the middle, knew that setter attack was coming because Bergen Riley was in the front row, and they are stuck in this rotation.
10-0 run, 4 aces during this run, all in a row. This serve gets a free ball back to Texas. Skinner, back row, boom!
This has been a dominant run from Texas. Ella Swindle knows she's got a third option in Maddie Skinner, and it is a great one coming right up the middle. Love a good bird's eye view.
Yeah, beautiful angle from our crew. 11-0 run, that matches the run they went on in the semifinals against Wisconsin in set 3. And that will be why the break that Nebraska was hoping for.
Yeah, and Lexi Rodriguez passed that ball perfectly. Finally, she was targeted, or she was able to steal from one of her teammates to put that ball on Bergen Riley's head so they could run out of it, and then it results in an error from Texas.
Maisie Bosiger coming in to serve for the first time. Did not see her in the semifinal. Skinner, this time behind Swindle, out of the back. Harper Murray dug by Halter.
Ella Swindle was late to change directions and get there. I would have loved to see Kayla Akana step in and transition that ball. But as a setter, you have to yell help so somebody can step in and help you.
A really nice response and swing from Harper Murray and this Nebraska team.
Linus had to slow up her approach. Harper Murray inside on the set. Ella Swindle dug up by Lexi Rodriguez with one hand. Halter gets there. Lexi Rodriguez making all the effort to get to that ball.
We need to see more of Lexi Rodriguez. Look at her slide in, pick up that ball in the middle.
And then Riley going to her knees to put up a great set.
Mariana Singletary has entered the match for Texas, number 11 in burnt orange. She'll swing out of the middle.
Wennis finds the deep corner. Didn't make great hand contact with that ball, but deep corner is a good location to attack, especially against this Nebraska team. If I'm Nebraska, I think Lexi Rodriguez, the libero, needs to take more court in serve receive. Slide Harper Murray over. She needs to insert herself into this match.
Almost shadow her, right?
Yeah.
Pass 2 with Lainey Choboy. Cover as much ground as you can.
Rodriguez will bump set Murray. Swing is long. Nebraska wants a touch. And John Cook does have the green challenge card in his hand. So for the first time today, Nebraska will use a challenge. If they're correct, they get to keep it.
Harper Murray immediately turning to John Cook after that swing. There was a touch, please challenge.
I do not see any finger movement there. Goes right over the left hand of Bella Bergmark.
I think you can see there's air between the fingers and the ball, too, from that angle. Oh. Now there you see a finger. Bella Bergmark's right hand.
I don't see the fingers move back, though.
Yeah, I'm wondering if the inside hand, that
I like this
index
angle.
finger of that right hand, if that's what we're seeing move back possibly on that other angle. But by the way, while we're in this review, can you look at the elevation from Harper Murray?
Yeah, her chest is at the net.
Her chest is above the net. It's unbelievable. She's such a dynamic, fun athlete to watch.
So we'll see what they see in the replay. Did you see enough to overturn it?
I did not.
I did not either.
I mean, we've seen some touches here in Tampa, some reviews where the finger has bent backwards and there's some obvious movement. I don't think that this was obvious if there was a touch.
And we have these slow-mo cameras here, and we're not seeing it.
That's the wrong swing, so that was Jenna Winnes on the attack. We're looking at the swing from Harper Murray against the Texas block. So they stick with the original call. Nebraska down to 1 challenge unless we go to a 5th set. The same for Texas. Each team with 1 challenge. If we go to a 5th, they'll get an additional challenge. Ella Swindle on the serve. 9 aces right now for Texas.
Incredible, the accuracy of their serve. They're not serving right at the Nebraska passers. They're making the move, attacking seams. Showboy is an excellent passer for Nebraska, and that one gets away from her.
6 aces in this set alone for Texas.
It's incredible, and every Texas player is doing it from the service line. Last match, it was mostly Maddie Skinner, but now Ella Swindle.
Lady Showboy is going to be subbed out. Maisie Bostiger comes back in, number 7 in white. Are you seeing Texas do the same thing, yo-yoing the serve?
Definitely.
They're just mixing it up with the depth of the serves.
Rodriguez is able to pass there. They go to Harper Murray. Annie Jackson off of 1 foot, wide, and no touch.
And this is similar to what we saw Texas do to Wisconsin on Thursday night. They completely took them out of their serve, receive, and passing options, and therefore they weren't able to attack and run anything efficiently out of it. It's pretty amazing that they can pick apart an offense like this.
Beeson gets the out-of-system swing. Molly Phillips reaching for it. Lexi Rodriguez with the dive. Phillips again. Winnes off the block and out. Set point, Texas.
Watch this ball here in transition. Winnes gets blocked, and look at Maddie Skinner from left back chase this ball going just wide. All-out effort to keep that ball off the floor.
A 5-0, 6-0 run now for Texas. Service error still set point Longhorns. Mark in the middle with her left hand. Harper Murray, long, and Texas dominates set 2. 15-4 run to end the set. They had 7 aces in the second set. Went on an 11-0 run at one point.
That was a clinic from the service line from Texas. If you're Nebraska, sets like that unfortunately happen. Now it's about how do you regroup and respond. You are down 2 sets to none, backs against the wall. But if anybody can make that kind of comeback and force a reverse sweep, it's this Nebraska team.
Jarrett Elliott, Texas's head coach, is joining us now.
Coach, there was some frustration in the first set. How was your team able to stay together and fight for that win?
That was huge. You know, I haven't kind of red card all year. You know, there was a miscommunication from what listening to me, so unfortunate, but we were able to pull that out.
Jarrett, what impressed you from the way that your players were able to attack them from the service line in set 2?
Yeah, I mean, we have fatigues right now. We're going after the line, the outside hitters, and they're flexing a little bit, and then we're other teams, and they're having a hard time figuring that out right now.
Thanks, Coach. We appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you.
Similar to what we saw out of Texas against Wisconsin, took them out of their game with the service pressure in the semifinals. But now the Texas Longhorns, 1-set win away from history, looking to go back-to-back in the national title match in Tampa. What a national championship match. Texas, the defending national champions, dominate set 2. Nebraska hit negative. Maddie Skinner has 10 kills, looking for her 3rd national championship. How does Nebraska respond? They've got to change something in serve receive. 10 aces on the match for Texas, 7 of those coming in set 2.
Texas has been able to dismantle Nebraska, and we haven't seen this happen at all. Wisconsin, when they did get the win over Nebraska, this is how they did it, but Texas has been incredible. 7 aces in that second set.
The time is now for a response from this young Nebraska team. No seniors, down 2-0. They had only lost 1 set in the tournament coming into this national championship match today. That was to Arkansas in the round of 8. We're joined now by Nebraska head coach John Cook.
Coach Cook, what'd you tell your team in between during the break?
You got to start passing the ball. Is there anything else to tell them? I mean, we're playing hard. They're just, Texas doing it. You got a couple great servers. And I saw them do this to Wisconsin, and we just aren't handling it very well. We've got to make sure if we miss one, we got to just get on to the next one. And I think it's, you know, that's how it compounds like that. So hopefully we'll make some adjustments here and not let them get on runs.
Thanks, Coach. We appreciate your time.
All right. Okay.
We were talking in the break. How do you get Lexi Rodriguez involved more? She's a fantastic, the 2-time Defensive Player of the Year in the Big Ten.
I think that's key. I think Nebraska, if their passing is breaking down like we have seen, they need to have her pass more of the court.
She's also a calming presence for her younger teammates, right? So she's able to get involved just a little bit more, maybe take a couple more balls from some of her teammates, like a Harper Murray. I think that alleviates some of the pressure from them as serve receivers, and they can focus on other things like attacking.
You look at the 2 outsides for Nebraska, Allie Batenhorst and Merritt Beeson, swinging from the right side. Batenhorst negative from the left side. Merritt Beeson, the team captain, hitting 0 in the match.
It's incredible, but when a team's out of system, it's hard to score against a strong defensive team.
A must-win set for Nebraska, or Texas takes home the title. Maddie Skinner, power tip.
She's just so high in the air. She elevates and jumps so well that she's able to go over top of the block and throw down into the donut, that center area where the defenders are not.
And that was one of the plans from Texas. They want to attack that middle.
There's Lexi Rodriguez stepping in to pass. Skinner rolls over the block, and it drops. Maddie Skinner with 12 kills.
She's got the Midas touch, right? A finesse shot. We've seen her dink to open court. I mean, incredible choice to change it up. And Becca Alec able to touch that defensively, but not play it up for Nebraska.
Becca Alec in the middle. Skinner off hands. Maddie Skinner wants a 3rd national championship.
Well, Texas can feel it. They've got momentum. They are doing things the right way in good spots defensively, but transition offense was the key for Texas when we talked to them yesterday, and you see it paying off now.
Harper Murray, it was touched, point Nebraska.
Nice job by Lexi Rodriguez stepping in there on that second contact and putting Harper Murray in a good position to be able to take a full swing on the outside.
Out of system swing for Texas. It goes to Skinner, and she turns it wide.
Nebraska picking things up from the service line. Maddie Skinner took a good swing, just missing that one wide.
John Cook has talked about unbothered with this team. It was a conversation they started in August. You have to move on. They have T-shirts that they wear at practice. This is the time they need it. It's hard to be unbothered when you're facing Maddie Skinner.
Yeah, and you know where the ball's gonna go too, right? Everybody knows in the gym they're trying to get the ball to Maddie Skinner when they can, and she's still able to go high hands, cross court, and place this ball deep in the court.
Offhand, saved by Barnes. Asia O'Neal. There it is. Becca Alec and Merritt Beeson.
Good defensive stop by Nebraska. This is a transition ball from off the net. Maddie Skinner tries to turn it down the line. Merritt Beeson all over that for Nebraska.
It's the 5th block for Nebraska. This is a team that had double-figure blocks in each of its last 2 matches. Texas has worked around that block. That's the best the slide has looked all day.
Asia O'Neal, we call her the slide queen, and there was a good connection there. The set before, Swindle's slide to Asia O'Neal came off the net, and she was not able to get on top of it.
Maddie Skinner behind the service line had a career-high 6 aces in the semifinals. And on another for Maddie. That is 11 aces for Texas today.
And if you're Nebraska, you want to side out as quickly as possible against their best servers. Maddie Skinner obviously is one of them. Don't give them unnecessary confidence here. Side out, put this ball on top of Bergen Riley's head if you can.
Skinner has 15 aces in the tournament, 2 today. Batenhorst. It's long, no touch.
But Bergen Riley has to bump set that ball. Nebraska out of system, out of system. That's the theme right now, and you have to look at the Texas serve, the pressure that it's put on this Nebraska team.
Out of system, meaning Nebraska doesn't have all 3 options. Bergen Riley's choices are limited on who she can set. Tight to the net, goes to her middle with Andy Jackson.
Here you see a great pass in system, so Riley can set whoever she pleases. She runs Andy Jackson on a quick 1-tempo set. She's able to go cross court for the kill.
If you can get the pass, you can go to your middles who are naturally going to hit for a higher percentage. Winnes is blocked by Bergen Riley.
Really nice job there by Nebraska. Much of what we've seen, Lady Joboy absolutely loves it on the sidelines, of forcing Texas out of system, so you know that ball is going to go to the outside pin. You can set up a great block.
Look for Maddie Skinner out of the back row right now. This is a rotation for Texas, center front row.
Service error. So here steps back Asia O'Neal. She led them on an 11-0 run in the second set, had 4 aces in a row.
There used to be a time where middle blockers weren't the greatest servers. I mean, what she did was remarkable, and then she plays great defense as well in left back.
And the service error.
And if you're Nebraska, you absolutely love that.
Yes, sigh of relief.
I definitely think there's a trend that middle blockers are taking pride in their serve. We're seeing it across the country, high-level middle blockers from the service line.
Skinner, back row. Lexi Rodriguez hustling. Harper Murray diving into the table. Nebraska keeps going. Bella Bergmark puts it down, but the absolute fearless guts from Harper Murray.
What pursuit from Nebraska. Way to stick in there, Lexi Rodriguez. Unfortunately, they just can't seal the net here when Bella Bergmark is able to attack this over, but just great defensive hustle from the Cornhuskers. And sometimes pursuit plays like that, even though they didn't get the point, can be a momentum shift.
And it's the effort, right? You instill that effort, that energy to your teammates, and Harper Murray getting things done. 27 in white.
Harper Murray, the #1 overall recruit in this class. She was the Gatorade National Player of the Year. Her older sister, Kendall, plays at Michigan, also wears 27 in honor of their late father. Winnes off hands.
We have not talked enough about Jenna Winnes. We talked about her earlier being the X factor. She's had a solid match. 8 kills on 23 swings, hitting .261.
She's doing a nice job finding high hands. Out of system set from Halter. She's able to tool the block outside the court of play.
She did have her career high against Nebraska back when she was playing at Minnesota in 2021. Oh, Maddie Skinner. Give her 15. "15 kills for Skinner, the rest of Texas 13.
Wow.
Murray offhand, saved by Barnes. Rodriguez puts it up in the air. Bergmark, just enough hesitation.
How about the defense? Carissa Barnes sticks out her left arm. It pops right up to Swindle. A little bit of mistiming, but hang time pays off for Bella Bergmark in the middle.
4-1 run for Texas. That hits the lines judge, so it's out. Again, a win for Texas. They win a national championship. Nebraska has to win this set in order to extend the match. Both of these teams with multiple NCAA titles. Nebraska has 5. Last one coming in 2017. Texas, the defending champ. And Maddie Skinner wants another.
It feels like she jumps higher as the match goes on. She's able to go over top of the block in front of her. Corner to corner, deep in the court between 2 great defenders. Just great placement.
Maddie Skinner told us when she transferred from Kentucky to Texas, she was trying to find her love for volleyball again. She has found it in the burnt orange. That time the block gets the best of Skinner.
Harper Murray turns that ball back. She's the right side blocker on that rotation defensively.
Phillips. Oh, what a cut shot.
Molly Phillips is so precise with her attack. Her attacking percentage has gone up all season long. But watch her hand contact on this ball. She trained some beach volleyball last summer, and it pays off with the cut shot from the right side.
Beeson tooling Asia O'Neal and Maddie Skinner.
And that's somebody, if you're Bergen Riley, that you want to get going. You want Merritt Beeson to get hot on that right side pin. Great job using the block to her advantage there to tool.
And Merritt Beeson is the vocal leader of this young Nebraska team. She and Lexi Rodriguez co-lead together.
She only has 3 kills in this match, hitting under 100. Batenhorst. Stopped by Asia O'Neal. Texas the first to 15. A win in this set, and Texas wins the national championship. We'll be back after these messages and a word from your local ABC stations. So in the break, we learned that Asia O'Neal got a yellow card for basically taunting through the net.
Yeah, and I love that intensity from Asia O'Neal.
I'm not shocked that you're saying that.
But the rule is you're not allowed to cheer through the net. You have to turn pretty immediately and cheer and celebrate with your teammates.
Do they do that in men's sports?
They don't, and I love it. And you know what? She loves doing that because it takes her to another level. She's so competitive. Talk about a match within the match. I was so excited to watch Asia O'Neal and Becca Alec go head-to-head across the net because they are the same competitive spirit.
We were told she was verbally warned earlier in the match, so now she has the yellow card warning. Our national championship here in Tampa, Florida. Texas won the title last year, trying to repeat. And Ella Swindle, the freshman setter, with the throwdown.
Tough serve, out of system play, pops right over the net, and Swindle able to score with open net.
We saw Texas's confidence soar in set 2. They went on an 11-0 run. They totally dominated Nebraska, who hit negative in that set, and they have not taken their foot off the gas. Beeson is blocked. Genowenis.
Genowenis is a high-level blocker on that left side. Even though she was working through some offensive troubles early in the season, this is one of her best skills. You see her up, over, closing that seam.
Jarrett Elliott cannot say enough good things about Genowenis. She has put in the work every day, extra reps in the gym. Her teammates have seen that work, and it's showing up in the tournament.
Swindle's in the front row for Texas as a setter, and she's just done a really nice job making heads-up plays. I like that Bergen Riley goes back to Merritt Beeson, but all you got to do is just kind of punch this ball deep in the court over top of the defender's head.
But I feel like balls are popping right in the direction of Texas in good locations, and they're able to execute.
It's a 10-4 run for the Longhorns. They'll get a free ball back. In comes the slide queen!
The service pressure from Texas is ridiculous, and it allows Texas to stay in system and run Asia O'Neal on that great slide. She's so dynamic off of one foot. I got to tell you, we've seen great serving teams make it to this level. I've never seen somebody pick apart an offense quite like this. I mean, we saw it on Thursday night against Wisconsin, but to be able to do it against 2 unbelievably talented teams is impressive.
With a ton of weapons, right? They've just been able to take those weapons away from Nebraska.
Remember, this is a team that started 5-3, and Jarrett Elliott has talked about it. The growth exponential all season for Texas.
We started off 5-3, and our kids came and showed up every single day and worked hard, and they were really loyal to one another. Throughout the season, we were put in a lot of situations where we were down and out, and they fought back and won. And so they've gotten this kind of toughness with them, and they found ways to win. That's what I love about this group, is they're playing for one another, and they're having a lot of fun doing it.
He's told us yesterday he's seeing a difference in the conversations his players are having amongst themselves, the confidence, how they talk to each other, how they handle themselves. Huge growth in that area.
It's wild to think that this team was an underdog coming into the NCAA tournament. I mean, when you started the season 5-3, if you'd asked me that they'd make it back to a national championship final, I would have said, I don't know. They certainly have the weapons, but they have gotten better with every single month that they have played. It's not about how you start, it's about how you finish, and you got to be able to peak at the right time. And this team, we've seen it.
How much does that have to do with Maddie Skinner's confidence growing too?
Well, I think as she's grown, this team has grown with her. That's evident.
Skinner with 15 kills to lead Texas. She's behind the service line. They're on a 5-0 run. And Allie Batenhorst, the kill Nebraska needed.
That's only her second kill on 13 swings, still hitting negative for Nebraska. Watch Maddie Skinner out of the back row, most likely a Bick out of the middle, or Asia O'Neal in the slide.
Merritt Beeson has a really nice serve. If she can get something going, a little bit of a run here for Nebraska, you start to steal back some momentum.
Swindle on the slide. Still up. O'Neal thought it was down. Swindle's gonna dump it.
Excellent defensive play by Bergen Riley to keep it alive, and then Texas, perfect location on their first contact, and Ellis Swindle calls her own number, throws it down.
Texas is hitting 400 in this set. Nebraska 062. There's some blood on the court. They're taking a look at Merritt Beeson's leg. Let's take a look at the current Capital One Cup standings. On the men's side, Cal. On the women's side, Florida State. You can log on to CapitalOne.com/capital-1-cup for more information. They're wiping up some blood on the Nebraska side of the net.
Don't think they know whose blood it is. They're all checking their legs to see if they're the ones bleeding.
And Merritt Beeson has run over to the trainer and is looking in the training bag for a Band-Aid.
We have this happen in the semifinal as well. It was Merritt Beeson's knee. Oh, now it's elbow or forearm. If you're Nebraska, obviously giving you a little extra time to regroup. Texas might be slowing down their momentum.
Texas is 5 points away from a national championship. Nebraska's got some work to do. You can't get it all back on one swing. Nebraska's opponent hit percentage in this tournament was 098 coming in. Texas is hitting 239 right now. Blocked. Look at Winnis go.
Winnis is having a great match, not just offensively, but defensively as well. And I truly believe confidence is contagious. And when you've got pin hitters that are blocking like this, taking some of that pressure off of the middle blockers as well, it's a huge help defensively at the net.
Nebraska will use its final timeout in this set. They are down 10. In a must-win set. Texas 4 points away from a national title. We knew Jenna Winnis could be an X factor. She has been up and down all season, but you know what? Here in Tampa, she's been up.
And she kept showing up, right? Taking big swings. Her hitter coverage has given her the confidence to just go up and attack. Earlier in the season, she was tipping a lot because she wasn't feeling that confident. But we also have to give a ton of credit to this Texas coaching staff for continuing to push this team, keep them on track, even though they didn't have the start that they wanted. Eric Sullivan, David Hunt, and obviously Jarrett Elliott, the head coach.
Jenna Winnis, 8 kills, hitting 261. Also 4 blocks to go along with those kills. Well, Wednesday night, there is a men's basketball tripleheader over on ESPN. First at 7 p.m. Eastern, Baylor heads to Cameron Indoor Stadium to take on Duke. Then at 9, North Carolina taking on Oklahoma. 11 p.m., the Alabama Crimson Tide will be in Tucson to play the Arizona Wildcats. That's Wednesday on ESPN. And, of course, streaming on the app.
We talked about Nebraska's excellence on the defensive side. Right now, Texas is holding Nebraska to .013.
For the match.
For the match.
It's a Nebraska team that hits .278 on the season. Asia O'Neal serving. Batenhorst. Swindle to Maddie Skinner. 16 kills for Maddie Skinner.
If you're Texas, you know she's on your side of the net. We talked about her out of the back row. She is just unstoppable today.
Taken over as the leader of this team. So close to back-to-back titles. Saved by Asia O'Neal with one arm.
Sometimes there are days where everything you touch turns to gold, and it feels like one of those days for Texas. Asia O'Neal making plays defensively for this team, just keeping it alive, and Wynn is throwing the ball over deep to the corner.
A 14-4 run right now for Texas. Championship point.
Let's be very clear, Nebraska for the entirety of the season has been the best team in college volleyball. To see what Texas has done to the #1 overall seed is nothing short of dominant.
For the championship. Just like last year, back-to-back on an ace for Texas. Your national champions, the Texas Longhorns. How fitting, your 6th-year player, Asia O'Neal, an ace on national championship point.
Unbelievable. I felt like everything Texas did went the right way. It popped up and they made plays, and Nebraska fought hard, but it was just Texas Day.
And you hate to see, obviously, the tears from this Nebraska team, but you will see every single face return next season, and Nebraska will be better from this experience when we see them return next season.